This is TWiT.
We have one more thing.
And you nailed it, Mike. And the crowd
They stole that from Xiaomi, I think.
They haven't done one more thing since Steve left,
Yeah.
and I'm really glad to see it back. A little tip of the hat to Steve Jobs, and Tim Cook knows it.
We love to make great products that really enrich people's lives. We love to integrate hardware.
My wallet's already
software, and
vibrating.
services.
It's like there's smoke.
Excited.
There's like smoke.
We love to make
If I have to leave, it's just because I
more
burned myself.
personal, and allow our users to do things that they could never have imagined. We've been working incredibly hard for a long time on an entirely new product. And we believe this product will redefine what people expect from its category. I am so excited.
Look at this one.
Oh! No!
Next chapter in Apple's story. And here it is.
All right, this is it. We find out. This is your iPhone moment, your iPad moment. New product from Apple.
Spaceship Campus.
Yeah, it looks like Coruscant.
What are we seeing?
It's round. It's got sensors.
What are we seeing? Holy
It's got a
moly,
focus
it's got a
zoom button.
stem. It is square.
There's a square one and a round one.
Wow.
Nice band. There's the that snaps on so you can change bands easily. That is something everyone should do. That's marvelous. Very nice band too. Oh, with a magnet. It's got a magnet.
And you've got a girly band and a manly band.
And they snap on and off, so you can change your band at a whim. I do want to see a round one though. Sapphire. There's the Sapphire, by the way.
Yeah, they just
All gold for me.
Boy, is that sick.
whooped. They just
Holy
whooped
moly.
the market.
I don't know. You know what? I don't know. That is not looking much better than an Android Wear watch. 18 karat gold, sapphire crystal.
I see the bottom is round. It's only square. It's only rectangular.
Yeah, it's looked like 4 sensors on the bottom there. Those would be likely for pulse. Colored bands can snap off. You know, wear a colored band in the daytime.
It looks like
snap on the metal band.
Looks like it's a ½ an inch thick.
It looks really thick, I have to say.
Nice and rounded, but
and by the way, the real key on that is where the band joins the watch. The closer it does to your wrist, the better it's going to feel, and that, frankly, is a little high on the watch. So there you have it. There is an iWatch. It's called
It's called
Apple
the
Watch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch.
Apple Watch. The Apple logo.
So I guess they're getting rid of
followed
the
by
eye.
word Watch.
Are they?
No eyes.
Are they starting to work away from the eye?
Yeah. Well, they still have an iPhone, and Tim's wearing it. He's
Standing. Oh, okay.
yeah. Well, new product is always exciting.
Sure.
we've been waiting for this for about 45 years, I think. Feels like.
It feels like it. So all the rumors were true. Apple is doing a watch. It's called the Apple Watch. It is square. It is thick, interchangeable band, sapphire crystal. Looks like health sensors on the back, probably a pulse meter.
Apple Watch is the most personal device we've ever created. We set out to make the best watch in the world. One that is precise. It's synchronized with the universal time standard, and it's accurate within plus or minus 50 milliseconds.
So it's an atomic watch, a radio watch.
This is
It's
the first
incredibly
iconic product ever
customizable.
not announced by Steve
So
Jobs.
you can find one that reflects your
That's how
personal
significant
style
this
and
is. Yeah.
taste.
It's been 4 years.
Because you wear it, we invented new, intimate ways to connect and
I don't know how to use
communicate
that word.
directly from your wrist. And it works seamlessly with iPhone. And it's also a comprehensive health and fitness device. Now, Apple Watch took very deep thinking. And out of this came some truly remarkable innovations. And one of those was the user interface.
Little icons all over the
Turns
screen.
out, with every revolutionary product that Apple has created,
Please tell me no.
It's like
a
the
breakthrough
game
in user
app.
interface
Whoa.
is required.
What in the heck?
With the Mac,
You need like
we
a
introduced
baby
the mouse
pinky.
to make navigation so simple on a personal computer. The click wheel on the iPod allowed users to scroll through thousands of songs in the palm of their hand. And with iPhone, multi-touch gave us the ability to interact with a beautiful canvas of photos or videos or music or all of the information that we use every day. The Apple Watch required the same kind of careful, deliberate consideration. What we didn't do was take the iPhone and shrink the user interface and strap it on your wrist.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
The display is too small and it would be a terrible customer experience. For example, if you take a gesture like pinch to zoom, it covers the content. It obstructs your view.
So you're going to do that with the little dial.
It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the dial. Huh?
And so we placed extra functionality in a mechanism that's been on the watch for decades. It's this dial. It's called a crown. And on the Apple Watch, it's called the digital crown. The digital crown includes infrared
they've got a home
LEDs
button
and
and a-
photodiodes that translate rotary movement into digital data. Now, you don't need to understand all of that, but it's a very simple
worry your pretty
and
little heads
elegant
about all
and
that.
amazing
The watch doesn't look that
input and
big on
navigation device.
Tim's wrist, and
Let me give you an example.
We've made a mock-up
Here's back to
Right.
the
of the
Mac.
actual size, and it's
When you
not that big.
turn
In fact,
the
even on your
digital
wrist, Sarah,
crown,
I don't think it's
It zooms in and
it's
out.
horrible, but it's about the same
when you
size,
have a
maybe a little
list.
smaller than the Android Wear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can scroll through the list.
You can draw a
and
watch
you
on
can
that,
do
Sarah, and
all
save
of
a ton of
this
money.
without
This is
blocking the screen.
so there's no touch screen, so they do save
And if you're within an app like the
thickness
clock
and
app
money
as
on
an
that,
example,
and make
you
they
can
can make
run
I
screen
think
with
there
that.
is a touch screen. I think
Is
it
there?
yeah.
It
I think
returns
they just
to the
sounds like
home
you're doing
screen
it some
just
using the
as you
crown.
would expect it to.
I can't believe he's getting applause for that, but okay.
By the way, the rumor said there were going to be 2 sizes and 4 colors for 8
Okay.
options, but so
Apple
far we've
Watch,
seen
of
only
course,
one
is
size.
made to be worn. And it can be
I
worn
should hope
all
so.
day for any occasion. It's as much about personal technology as it is style and taste. It seamlessly combines materials and software and technology. And we thought not only of the function, but of the way it looked. Apple Watch has an amazing and rich design story. And we prepared a video of that this morning that Johnny Ive narrates.
We made it this morning.
I have
There
to
is
say, at
no
this
one
point,
better to tell the story
underwhelmed.
than Johnny.
I think they
And I
haven't
would like
solved
to
some of
run
the
it
problems
for
with
you now.
wearables. And we'll watch the video.
You know, it's driven Apple from the beginning.
We go to the
This
White Room, where
Yeah.
Johnny Ive has been
compulsion
living for the last
to take incredibly
He's chained with a
powerful
white
technology
chain.
and make it accessible, relevant, and ultimately personal.
It's the thinnest watch
We've
ever
designed
made.
a range of products so personal, you don't put them on your desk or in your pocket. You wear them on your wrist.
I think there's some nice design elements.
But to your
designed
point,
and developed
Leo,
Apple Watch
what
as a
the Android Wear and other
complete
watches are doing is they're
you can't
allowing it to be
turn
big
the
and bulky.
boundary
Yeah.
And we
between
thought
the
Apple
physical
would do
object
something
and the
revolutionary in that realm, but they haven't.
And this interface particularly, I think, is
We're
is,
introducing
underwhelming.
an unparalleled
I'm sure it's powerful,
level
but
of
can we turn up-
technical
yeah, where is it?
innovation combined with a design that connects with the wearer at an intimate level to both embrace individuality and inspire desire. The watch senses that you're raising your wrist and then activates the display. you see an organization of apps that,
Saves a
while
lot of
new,
energy.
is somehow familiar. Navigation is fluid and vital.
With
Butterfly.
touch or
Magnifying content on a small display is fundamentally important. So we've developed a whole new interface specific to the challenges associated with a product this small. The digital crown is a remarkable input device. It fluidly zooms into apps. It enables nimble, precise adjustment. And critically, you can use it without obstructing the display. It's also the home button. Apps are designed for lightweight interaction. Smart replies and dictation let you respond quickly to messages. Glances let you swipe through information efficiently.
It's very much like
Pressing the
Wear.
button below
Maybe
the
there is
digital
only one way
crown
to do this.
instantly shows you friends you can contact in just seconds.
I have to say,
I mean, it really is
Digital
a new
touch.
iPod.
We've developed
Yeah.
an entirely
You know,
new
in every way,
for
that's
you
what
to
this
connect
is.
Like a Nano.
with
It's
others.
just,
it's a really
yeah.
nice
I mean,
design
they've
for
marketed
it.
it differently,
With
but
a
that's what it
gentle tap.
is.
You can send a quick sketch, or you can even share something as personal
must be touch.
as your own heartbeat. These are
Must be a
subtle
very
ways
high-res
to
screen,
communicate.
too.
He
that
just said, I
technology
think he just said
often
you can send your
inhibits
heartbeat?
rather
Yeah.
than enables.
Yeah. So here's my heartbeat. Oh, isn't that neat? It's beating according to my.
These apps all take
that's what I
advantage
want to do with my
of the
girlfriend.
flexible Retina display.
Retina.
It's been
a Retina display.
laminated to a machined
this
and
is
polished
one advantage
single crystal of
they have.
sapphire. That's the
Because
second
all of the
hardest
existing watches are
transparent
fairly low
material
res.
Yeah.
after diamond.
The interface and software
In
seems
addition to
significantly
the
more
digital
advanced
crown,
than Android Wear, I
we've
think.
had
More
to
complex.
invent other input technologies designed specifically
I'm
for a
not sure.
product this small.
I'm sure you want it more.
So as well as sensing touch, the display also senses force,
Okay.
quite literally
bigger.
adding a new dimension to the user interface.
Exactly the same size as my Android
Tiny
Wear.
electrodes around the display recognize the difference between
So
a
what
tap
we're looking at,
38,
and a
We're talking about touch sensitivity as well.
It's kind of big.
All the-
Level of touch.
But a beautiful metal case. I mean, that case does look.
well, everything looks beautiful, but
It's a
all
very
this is
nice
CGI.
render.
We
Right.
haven't seen the.
It's a lovely render.
yeah.
For the first time, and with great intention, we've designed not only what
I
you
think the
see,
UI will be
but
intriguing
also
here.
what you
This is
hear
a
and
challenge.
feel.
It's a small screen.
We've developed.
I'm kind of curious how the incoming call works. Like, does it have to work with your phone? Does
Looks
it
like
have
you talking to the
to
watch.
complement your interactions.
It's haptic.
This taptic engine,
Taptic.
combined with the audio feedback from our water-resistant speaker, creates a discreet and nuanced experience.
You can
Wait,
It
control
looked like
the
it was. Was that a
camera.
FaceTime?
Is a custom-designed chip
Oh, that's it.
that integrates many subsystems
the camera
into one
coming from?
remarkably
It's gotta be the
compact
phone.
module, which is then completely
Oh, being able to
encapsulated
being able to set up and do a selfie
with your
with your watch.
Yeah.
essentially
That's hot.
miniaturizing
You can do that
the
on
entire
Android Wear,
computer system
with the
onto
app.
a single chip.
But
The
I'm gonna miss
zirconia
my watch.
back
Here we
has
go,
4
sensors.
sapphire lenses. Infrared and visible light LEDs, along with photosensors, detect your pulse rate.
Yeah, this is a
Using
well-known
its
technology.
gyroscope and accelerometer,
problem with it is
and
you
the
can't
GPS and
move.
Wi-Fi from your iPhone, the watch provides a comprehensive picture of your daily activity.
So these kinds of pulse rate
This
monitors
allows
are
So they're
not
different
good
size
for
watches?
exercise.
suggest goals and reward fitness milestones.
you don't think it's good for exercise?
You can't move with that kind of
The
pulse rate
back
measurement.
crystal also
It has-
houses a unique charging
What it's doing is
cell
bouncing light
that
off of your
combines our MagSafe
veins.
technology with
You have to
inductive
stop
charging.
and
You have to stop and hold
There's the
still.
charger.
Field,
Yeah.
it requires no alignment or exposed contact.
Wireless charger, that's nice. It looks like a stethoscope.
Apple Watch is incredibly accurate. It uses
It's interesting
multiple
they're pushing
technologies,
accuracy.
keeping time.
It's
to
a trivial
plus or
feature.
minus.
Everything has
Yeah.
it now because it's all tied to your phone.
We have worked closely with horological experts
Oh.
from around the world to help us understand the cultural and historical significance of timekeeping. And this
Looks like there are going to be
has
3 different sizes of
profoundly
watches.
informed our design.
Odd that they haven't mentioned.
We know
What
that
this
wearing
is a
something
very early
all
prototype.
day, every day becomes as much
Yeah,
about
literally no
personal
one has seen
preference
this,
and
outside of
self-expression
Apple.
as functionality.
Even the, according to Mark Gurman, even
we've
the
designed a range
companies
of
that have
watches.
the early
Don't have
API,
this.
they haven't
Yeah.
seen the actual hardware.
There may only be a few. I think there probably are.
We can only find the bar where they're.
They're leaving them behind. It's a gorgeous screen. I mean, but again, this is a rendering. This is not.
And their capability.
I mean, I think it's reasonable to assume, even though we're seeing
Personalization
CGI
extends
here,
way
that
beyond
this is
the
going to be
interface.
really nice looking. We don't know about the battery life and all that, but it's
We have
probably going to. The
designed
screen is probably going to
6
be really.
different straps and a mechanism that makes
I
the
do like
straps
that.
easily interchangeable.
I really do
with
like
a
that.
refinement and precision that's born of
Easy to,
functionality.
if you're going to go running, to swap, get rid of the metal one and
The
put in the
sport
rubber one.
band, in a range of bold colours, is made from a tough, durable, sweat and chemical resistant, high-performance elastomer.
Translation: it won't.
The leather
make you
loop
allergic.
comes in a soft,
Hate that color.
quilted leather
Quilted
that
leather.
conceals magnets for fastening and
I do
adjustment.
like that.
That one's cool.
That's
We've
cool.
used
Yeah.
traditional leather, but in a new sports context that's designed.
Look,
for
Apple has
optimum
the best
comfort.
design team in the world,
Right.
and I'd expect stuff like
The
this. I mean,
supple, handcrafted leather modern buckle closes.
but to me,
with a
I'm more
solid
interested in the
metal
UI,
clasp
the
and wrapped
computer
symmetrically
technology.
around the wrist.
Boy, it sure looks thick. And again,
The simple
look where the
leather
band
classic
joins the
buckle
watch. It's very high,
references
which means it's going to feel like a
traditional
bump
watch
on your,
vocabulary.
course I don't.
arm.
If you're looking.
And the stainless
Why not?
steel
You think
link
of that.
bracelet has a slim deployment clasp that is contained.
But you have a very
within
manly wrist,
2.6
so that's
Right,
millimeter
exactly.
band.
part of the market.
This is nice. This is very nice.
The Milanese Loop is crafted
this is
from
also
a
beautiful.
fluid, flexible stainless steel mesh.
This is the
with a
fashion that
magnetic
we've been hearing
closure
about. This is
that
Right.
has an elegant simplicity.
But you
and
know,
is infinitely
ultimately,
adjustable.
the watch has to work, I think. Maybe not.
Of
It does,
course,
but it definitely has to look good too. You can't
one
look like a
size
geek.
for everyone. So
You know,
we
wearing
also
it.
developed a smaller watch with matching smaller
Another
straps.
size, smaller watch for you, Sarah Lane.
From different cases and strips.
Yeah, this is
we've
the
actually
interesting part.
created
How small is
3
small?
distinct collections.
So we have 3 now.
The
Sport.
first Apple Watch features a polished case made from a custom alloy of stainless steel.
This is where you get the price differential as well. I'm sure edition is expensive. I'd love to see a round one. Can they do round?
That'd be nice.
See, I think this square actually looks better on a wrist.
Okay. We'll get used to it.
I mean, that's this one that you're wearing now or anything that's made by. I just think it.
The Sport
It looks
collection
nicer on a
has
wrist.
an ion exchange cover glass and an anodized aluminium case
Aluminium.
that is 60% stronger than standard alloys, and yet it's incredibly light and durable.
Who's going to
Apple
wear
Watch
that neon
Edition
yellow one?
Is made from 18 karat gold
Sporty
that
people.
our
Sporty
metallurgists
people?
People who would wear a
developed
pink
to
shirt.
be up
This is
to
made of
twice as
gold.
hard as
18
standard gold.
karat gold.
Yeah, they're really going after the.
Yeah, this is the $1,000 one.
Creating beautiful objects that are as simple and pure as they are functional, well, that's always been our goal at Apple. We designed Apple Watch as a whole range of products, enabling millions of unique designs, unparalleled
Millions?
personalization, both in appearance and capability.
That looks pretty good. I like the face.
I think
they-
we're now
this is
at
actually from
compelling
a
beginning.
owning the
Actually
market perspective, this
designing
is key. That you
technology
have a million different
to be
Yeah.
worn.
options because people
be
want
truly
individuality.
Right. All right, let's hear pricing. Probably won't announce pricing. I think they're establishing a pretty big range, though.
We've been working on Apple Watch.
Well, people in the audience like it, but remember, many of them are Apple employees.
They've been hand selected to like it.
To clap. How big are your hands?
Typically, when journalists in the audience, they
We've been
try
working on
not
Apple
to
Watch a long time.
emote.
And we assembled an amazing team to do so. It covered every discipline at Apple. One of the key people is here this morning. He led our software effort. He's Kevin Lynch. And I'd like to invite Kevin up on stage to give you the very first live demo of Apple Watch. Kevin?
So Kevin Lynch was the guy they acquired.
My wife is already asking me for one, specifying the gold one.
And he's running the watch division.
I'm going to show you our work, and I'm wearing Apple Watch right here.
He was at Adobe. He was a CTO at Adobe, and we wondered when they hired him.
Now, to give you a better look,
why?
it's a little hard for you to see.
And I think he's a manager. He's there to run this division.
Here. So let's take a look at that. Now, I also have my iPhone, which is required with Apple Watch.
Hopefully it's not because the watch is based on
Flash. And the first thing you're going to see on your watch when you look at it is the clock. Now, we thought a lot when we were designing Apple Watch about how to really reveal all of the great ecosystem of applications on this device. And we wanted to build it in a way that was really easy to find and use. So we connected it to the digital crown. So if I press the digital crown at the top here.
Oh, some people will like it.
I wanted it
to their advantage.
Very easy to get out to my apps.
But if Apple goes
now, when I'm here, you can see the clock is the center of the universe.
As
the apps you frequently use, you might put around the clock here. You can arrange these how you like. And I can pan just by simply swiping on the screen here.
Let's watch this.
I can go from one area to another of my applications. I can also get an overview of all of my apps.
I don't like
just
that.
by rotating the crown. I will zoom
That
out
looks
to
like
a
a mess.
universe of apps. And you can arrange this just how you like. And by tapping, you can go right into a neighborhood of apps.
No.
And if you'd like to go back to the clock, you
but
press
look
the
at the
crown,
number of apps you can run on this thing. You must have a huge amount.
Now, to launch apps, it's very simple.
Yeah, I guess you don't really have any choice but to cluster them this way.
Now, the watch
if you're going to put that many apps on, I think that's a mistake.
You can choose different ones. You can arrange them just for yourself. And to customize your watch face, you just force touch on the display, and it goes back a little bit. Now I can simply swipe over here, and I can choose another watch face. So if I like this one, I can tap on it. That's now my watch face. I can also customize the appearance and the functionality.
Can we bring that video back up, please?
So again, if I force touch here, it will bring me out, and I can choose
This is one we want to keep watching.
And here I can change the color of the face. Just by rotating the crown, I can change the color here and slide in some different colors on my watch. Or if I want to change the functionality of this face, I can just swipe over, and the green outline shows me what I'm currently changing. So I'll change the center area just by rotating the crown again. You can see I have a variety of information I can pull in here right on my watch face. This is my next meeting, which I use a lot.
These are the toughest interfaces to design. This reminds me of my car interface. Very
Let's look at a couple of other faces we have here.
You have a very constrained environment.
This is one of my favorite ones. This is called the astronomy
Apple
face.
is brilliant at UI.
Where you are in the Earth.
I remain unconvinced. I'm really going to have to play with this to see.
But it has to be said that before we were looking at CGI, this is apparently the real deal.
Real watch.
And it looks really smooth and really high-res and beautiful. But again, this isn't the shipping thing. This is barely even a prototype.
This is the current moon phase. We scheduled our event on a nice full moon.
Good,
so this will look great here. And I can rotate the
how are they mirroring that?
Look at that. This is
pretty. I can go forward and look at the new moon. I can see where the next quarter one's happening and the next full one about a month.
Remember, you're looking at a device that's 38 millimeters by 48 millimeters. It's a lot of fun to play with some of these faces as well. It's tiny.
In addition to the Earth and the moon, I can zoom out even further, and I can look at the whole solar system.
It's a little deceptive. The screen on the right makes it look
you can see where all the
big.
planets. This is the actual position of the planets right now for this time.
I don't know how.
And if you forget which planets are which, I can just double tap here. It will give me a little cheat sheet.
Yeah, it is cool.
So I can see which is which.
It's cool that you're zooming out from the moon.
Look how smooth this is. I have to say, this A1 processor, whatever it is,
There's a whole variety of watch faces here. We spent a lot of time just doing some beautiful work here on the appearance of the faces. This is a nice analog one. Now, in addition to looking at the time, we also thought it's really important to look at other information as well. So how do we represent that in a really glanceable way? So we've created something called glances. And the way you get to glances is you just swipe up from the bottom of the watch face, and you'll see information that you choose to have here. It can be from our built-in apps. It can be from third-party apps. And you can arrange these just how you like. Here's my next meeting. And if I just swipe horizontally, I can see things like where I'm located, here at Lynch Center, the current weather outside, NASDAQ, stock quote,
theoretically very
and world time, where I can see music I'm currently playing on devices around me. And with this, you can actually control music on your iPhone, music on iTunes on your computer, or the music that's stored right on your Apple Watch.
That's interesting. It ties to your computer as well. Here I've got it connected to my iPhone, which is plugged into the speakers in this room, so it will sound really good.
I wonder if it controls Apple
so let's listen to a little Coldplay.
This is probably the continuity that they've talked about with Yosemite, the idea that this is yet another device.
I can only imagine that also you're able to control your Apple TV with it eventually. You know.
I lose that remote all the time.
Or possibly immediately.
I lose it 5 times a day.
Now you can control tracks and volume, everything you'd expect right here from your watch. When you're done with glances, you just swipe down and they go away. Now, in addition to you're looking at information, you may have information coming to you. And when you're notified of things on Apple Watch, we're using the Taptic engine to give you feedback on your wrist. It's just like somebody tapping you on the wrist very gently. And even if you're sitting right next to someone, they won't be able to tell that you're getting notified. It's very subtle, but you'll feel it on your own wrist. And you can choose what information, of course, will come and notify you on your watch. And if you do choose to look at something that's coming in, you just raise your wrist, and the notification will come in, just like this. Here's a calendar invitation. Excellent. I'm invited to the karaoke outing, finally, with Eddie.
One of the reasons I've been using Android
so I can
Wear
swipe
Watch
up here, and I can just see information about where it's at and
these
time.
notifications actually become problematic because it is a smaller screen, and you spend a lot of time swiping and manipulating. Have you found that too, Mike?
Yeah.
And it, in fact, maybe isn't the best
now, you might also
to put a lot of information on there.
Here's one from Johnny. Am I going with Love Shack or Wild Thing? I think he's teasing me. I'm going to press reply.
See what happens here.
Now, we've created something called QuickBoard to enable really quick replies to messages that you're getting.
How would it know?
Here, we've actually analyzed the text that's coming in
and the question mark
picked out some things you might want to just tap on and send back.
And a smiley face.
And you can talk. I presume you can dictate a response.
You can dictate.
So I'm not going to tell Johnny what I'm seeing. It's a secret, of course. Now, I can also use dictation to reply. That will send either an audio recording of my voice, or I can convert that to text and send it, or I can use a new selection of animated emoji that we've created for Apple Watch. Let's use an emoji.
This is for the Asian market.
There.
Right.
And we've got a great collection here of emoji. These are hands,
huge.
Hearts.
I have to admit, I've gotten a little addicted to them myself.
Yeah, and I think the U.S. is
they were very silly, and then I realized.
Now, when you're actually sending
even Google does this now with Hangouts.
Here,
why didn't they call it
control
emoji?
Both the eyes and the mouth to get just the right expression you'd like to send.
You know
to
what? I
somebody.
love that. And you know, of course, it's only going to work if
So here I'll just edit this a little bit. I'll make it this is a winking one. If I change the eye, or if I want to do something a little
Otherwise,
bit more.
Otherwise, just send an Apple Watch commercial.
And change that.
All right, I'm loving.
I think that's perfect to send back to Johnny. All right.
This is the best feature yet.
And so I'll just press send.
Really?
I'm a simple man.
I like an emoji, but I don't know about the animated ones.
I predict the first one I get will be from a woman named Sarah Lane.
Probably.
There's a lot that Apple Watch can do.
If they have a cat emoji, you're in, right?
And here comes
Siri. The first one
is
that we've built Siri into Apple Watch.
All right.
So we can use Siri just by pressing the digital crown here and ask questions like what movies are playing, for example.
So you press the crown.
Press and hold.
What movies are playing tonight in Cupertino? So Siri will go out and check that information. It comes back with a list of movies that are playing around us here in Cupertino.
Forrest Gump.
I can use the crown to scroll this, or I can use my finger to scroll this.
It's an old listing.
Yeah.
Now I'll just tap on Guardians of the Galaxy, because that one looks really
cool. The 100-foot journey is supposed to be.
You can see we get some very nice poster art there. We can see the ratings,
look at this.
who's in the movie.
They got the Rotten Tomatoes on there.
Lots of information, including showtime, synopsis.
This looks like
so you can use
Flickster,
a
which
lot
is
of Siri functionality
exactly
right here on
what I
your wrist
use
with
my
Apple Watch.
Phone for more than anything.
Now, we also looked at how you can carry your photos with you. And it's almost like having a little locket of photos right here with you. So we've got a Photos app here. And now, of course, precious photos number in the hundreds rather than a couple.
This is the UI they showed at WWDC.
Much like you can on your iPhone. Now, though, I can use the digital crown.
Look at that. You know what? That may work.
Which ones I'd like to look at. Or I can easily just pan around and look at photos from different times.
That's a lot of data.
And if I'd like to, I can tap on photos and bring them in larger on the screen here. And I can look at them one by one just by swiping.
You see that it was low res and didn't come into focus.
So this is a really great way to bring your precious photos with you. Now, by default, all of the photos that you favorite on your iPhone or your Mac will just show up on your Apple Watch. It can be any collection that you like to show here. One other app I'd like to show you is Maps.
This feels 2 or 3 generations ahead of Android Wear.
It does, and particularly because of the screen quality.
Yeah.
Of course, it shows
nobody has anything like
this. Here at
this.
Clint Center, and I can pan around just by swiping.
And that explains the thickness because the battery's got to be
I can also
hefty
zoom out with the crown. If I rotate the crown, it zooms me out. I can see more of the area.
And this is also why you want to have your own map application.
Rotating the crown.
It'd be very difficult to try to do this with Google Maps.
I can also pan around this view. And if I'd like to get back to where I am, I can press on the bottom left, and it takes me right there. Now, if I'd like to look for things around me, you can bring up a context menu for Maps by force touch. And here I have a search command. And I can find things by dictation, my favorites, or if I've recently searched for things, I can just tap on those.
Whole Foods and donuts. He's a little conflicted with his diet there.
Tap there. And it's going to calculate, find the local Whole Foods here.
It's going to be Bing.
You've got the hours, and you have also a phone number if you'd like to call Whole Foods, and you have directions, walking and driving. So let's get walking directions.
This is tough for Apple because they have to rely on.
So it's figuring out the best way to get there now. And I'm going to press start, and it's going to do a little simulated walk so you can see how it goes.
That's a great Whole Foods they're pointing to, by the way.
Now, while you're walking, Apple Watch will give you taptic feedback on each turn.
That's right.
So you'll know whether it's time to turn left or to turn right.
Oh, that is.
And those feelings are different.
By the way, that is a good use case for
so you can actually know without even looking at your watch which way
or glass. You use glass that way, didn't you?
Yep. Glass is amazing. Turn by turn.
Yeah.
I think your wrist would be as good.
Yeah.
Much better, actually, because you don't have to wear Google Glass.
Just for that reason alone.
I'd like to show you is one that we worked on a lot in terms of communication. We thought hard about how to enable a new form of communication, given that we have the taptic engine and you're wearing Apple Watch. We've created something called Digital Touch. And you get to your friends with Digital Touch by pressing this button right below the digital crown. And there are my friends.
That's that home button.
Of course, you can choose who you'd like to have here in your friend list. And I can communicate with someone just by tapping. So I'll tap here on my friend Jeff.
Kevin is a good political
and I can either phone him, or I can send him a message,
all the right friends.
or if I tap right in the center, I can create this new form of digital touch communication.
It's not like they practice this for 3 days straight.
And here I can draw and tap and have a much richer
This is an intriguing thing as well, I think.
He and I go out to lunch a lot, so we've now established this little code. When we're getting hungry, we can just tap each other, and we'll feel it on our wrist. So I'll just do the triple tap here for going to lunch.
No.
I'd tap that. That's a cool feature.
Like I am right now.
With your wife.
Somebody was going to say it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do this a lot. That means what's for lunch. So I know that. So
this is interesting. They're inventing a new form of
sushi,
communication.
so I'm going to bring up the color picker and pick a nice blue color, and I'm going to draw a fish. So I know how much Jeff loves sushi. Drawing in front of millions of people is really fun. Okay, there's my fish. What do you think? So that's
I love how it disappears with a little Tinkerbell animation. This is where Apple excels. You're never going to see Google do the Tinkerbell animation.
His heartbeat.
Maybe that doesn't matter.
Nor would they wipe the dew from the outside of the building.
Yeah.
And that's not just an emoji. That actually is reading the heart rate off of Jeff's wrist with Apple Watch and sending me his heartbeat so I can feel it on my wrist.
This is for flirting.
This is not before. It's a really great aspect of this
choosing lunch with your.
It's also a lie detector, isn't it? You're on the phone, just like, where were you?
And then Apple Watch. And I was happy to give you a little glimpse.
Okay, so that's a real demo. That is impressive.
Yeah,
that is impressive. Now we know from past experience that sometimes these demos are very touch and
organized.
Go, but he did it and he got it through it and no crashes. Very interesting.
It's assuming that it's assuming that we're really getting a demo.
Effort across Apple, and it's just such an honor to work with the team.
I think we are.
Maybe.
Now, in addition to the work
I don't know how they're doing the screen
we've also
share.
been working to enable third-party developers to extend their apps to Apple Watch.
We work on a lot of this kind of stuff.
To the phone.
Or someone's watching over video and doing it inside of the software app.
Things that do things we never imagined.
Not that I've ever done that.
And we think there's a great opportunity now in Apple Watch for that.
That's pretty common, actually.
So we've created something to enable this on the Apple Watch. Initially, notifications will just show up. So for example, if you've got a notification from Facebook coming in, it'll look like this. If you choose to have these appear on your watch, you
Facebook was one of the companies that was seeded the SDK
and they look, very simple.
Precisely
now
for
you can extend this even further and create a much more integrated experience with Apple Watch with something called
Gurman also reported one additional social network that he didn't know who it was.
Developers to create
Probably
rich,
Twitter,
actionable notifications with those buttons, WatchKit apps that appear right on the home screen, and also the glances that we saw.
Here comes the rush.
So here are a few examples
this
of this.
Is for developers.
Here we have Twitter with a notification coming in. And you can see it's using the same layout as the original tweet, but now it's much richer with images and text. It looks like the Twitter brand, and it has buttons that you'd like to use to favorite or retweet right on that message. Now, in addition to custom notifications, you can also create apps that appear on the home screen. Here's the Twitter app. If I tap on that, it will just launch the app. And here I can view things on my timeline, look at trending tweets, or I can actually tweet from my Apple Watch.
I don't see myself reading a lot of Twitter
on
my watch. It's just such a small screen.
A few more examples. When you're traveling with Apple Watch, it's really great.
If you get it,
if you're in line,
if you're following friends or like DMs or something, I could see.
I like the notification.
Not just a stream in general.
I like the notifications.
I mean, if you think about it, Twitter really
this is good.
For Apple Watch.
Ooh, do we get that hat? Do we get the?
And you can unlock your hotel room door by waving your watch in front
QR
of the door.
code there.
Tap to unlock. Yep.
Oh, tap to unlock the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hotel door. Participating hotels.
That's so awesome.
And that will be available across all W hotels.
So is that NFC?
Around the world.
I'll be
Or is that
standing at
Bluetooth LE?
City
They
Mapper
didn't say,
enables
but
you
I
to
think
get
it's got to be
Tap
NFC.
usually means
directions,
NFC,
and it will
yeah.
also remind you to get off at the right stop just by using
Bluetooth
tap.
LE.
Ah, look at that. It'll buzz you when it's your stop.
You've pinned sites
I need that.
cities
No more
you're
sleeping
traveling
through the,
It can remind you when you get near them and give you walking directions to them.
I once ended up in
BMW lets you
Trenton
see
by
the charge
accident.
level
So they
in your
Pinterest
car.
another social
And if you
network.
Control
forgot
your
where
car.
You parked it will actually show you a map of where you left your car and then directions back to it.
This is a Google Now card.
Yep.
But and this was the problem Apple faces, which is that Google has all this information.
MLB lets you see the current sports
Apple now
scores.
can collect it.
Honeywell lets you control the temperature in your home. With the Lutron app, you can control
Not a
the
Nest,
lighting and
no,
the scenes in
a
your
Honeywell.
home with one tap.
Right.
With the Nike app, you can challenge your friends to go for a run. So these are just some of the examples of the great apps that are already
apps left and
underway
right
for
here.
Apple Watch. And we just can't wait to see what
Well,
developers
I
are
suspect
gonna
these
create
are
for this
all
great new
third-party
platform.
apps.
Thank you very much.
Right. So what they're doing is they're telling developers develop for this watch.
Yeah.
This is the rush. I mean, for a
the
developer,
rush.
this is the place to go. Like, stop
right.
making iPhone apps, start making iWatch apps. We get to be the first one right now.
That's right.
There's a lot of millionaires that are about to be created.
Amazing what you can
Well,
do.
let's
from
wait and see
your
when it's
wrist.
available.
And I'd like to spend a moment talking about yet one more.
Here's the health.
And that is health and fitness.
Yeah.
This is a very important area for me and a very important area for Apple. Apple builds great products that enrich people's lives.
Tim is on the board at
and
Nike.
arguably,
Nike
we can
earlier
take that
this
to
year
a whole new level with Apple
pretty much
Watch.
shut down its band division.
Being more
That's right.
active, as it turns out, is one of the
They
best
still
things
sell
you
it, but
can
they don't
do
develop it.
to
It's
improve
kind of,
your health.
they'll take
They
your
saw
money.
the writing on the wall.
An
Tim probably
Apple Watch
Right.
gives us the
nudged them.
ability to motivate people to be more active and more healthy. So if you're just someone who wants to be a bit more active,
Yeah, that's
or
me.
maybe you just want to track what you're doing during the day, or perhaps
I just want to know how active
you
I'm not.
exercise regularly,
Kevin Lynch making his debut as
or
an
even
Apple employee, doing a
if
good job, I
you're
think, with that
a
demo.
He did
very
great.
He did.
serious athlete, Apple Watch helps you live a better day. We have two new applications in Apple Watch. The first is the Fitness app. The Fitness app monitors all of your activity
Second's
and
gonna be
movement
the
throughout the day.
wallet.
And the second is the Workout app. The Workout app allows you to set specific goals
I do expect a
for
wallet.
specific types of workouts like cycling or running. We've built an incredible team in health and fitness at Apple to work on Apple Watch. And in the video that follows, they're going to show you how all of this comes together to give you a comprehensive view of your daily activity.
David Pogue also wondering if the I name is dead
Yeah.
with the Apple
I think it is.
Watch.
I think,
and the Apple
I
Pen.
think we're never going to see anything new with I.
Yeah.
About time.
Apple Watch is designed to help anyone who wears it lead a
Is this
healthier
Harvey
life
Firestein?
by being more active. From people who just want to
this
be
is
more
Jay
active
Blahnik,
throughout
the,
their
another
day,
Nike
to
steal.
those who work out a few times a week, to athletes committed to improving their performance.
Jay was one of the
Apple
other
Watch
big
brings
acquisitions
together
that
the
I think we all
capabilities of an
thought
all-day
meant
fitness
Apple was doing a
tracker
fitness
and a
device.
highly advanced sports watch in one.
I mean, for
He did something at, was it Burberry before
It can track a
Nike?
wider variety of
interesting.
activities
Yeah,
because it's
he
able
came
to
from
collect
fashion.
more types of data.
Originally.
But
uses
fitness has been his
accelerometer to measure your
main
total
main
body
gig.
movement. It has a custom sensor that can measure intensity by tracking your heart rate, and it uses the GPS
Fitness
and Wi-Fi in your
instructor,
iPhone to track how far
consultant
you
author
move.
from Laguna Beach.
So it is using the GPS and the
We wanted
iPhone.
to
Like, it
give you
is
the most
paired.
complete picture
It's
of
not
all
doing it
the
on its own.
Yeah.
And not
You know,
just highlights
This is
the
definitely something,
quantity of
it's an
You'd like to
accessory for
offload
the
as much as you
iPhone.
quality
can,
and
yeah.
frequency as well. So the activity
don't wanna
app on
offload,
Apple
there's
He's
always
Watch
worked at Nike
measures
for
3
18
separate
years.
aspects
He
of movement,
launched
with the
Nike
goal
Plus
of helping
Running.
you sit less,
You can
move
flip
more,
this, right?
and
So like
get
if you're
some exercise.
left-handed or for whatever reason you really want to wear a watch on one wrist or the other, you'd be able to flip and have the,
It's not practical because
The
that
dial.
stem is on the wrong side.
Yeah.
well, but says who? Who cares?
Well, I could tell you as
It'd
a
be
lefty,
lower.
you're going to end up watching it and wearing it on your left wrist.
The Move Ring is customized to you,
I would think.
and you close it
I'll have
when
to
you
see
hit
if
your
the stem is
personal
over here.
calorie goal
Yeah.
for the day. The exercise ring
have to wear it on the
captures the
left
brisk activity that you
Because of where
do.
the
Flip it
This
though.
doesn't necessarily mean hardcore exercise.
Or the
It
watch.
means any activity done
on the-
at the level
Oh,
of
you
a
see it
brisk
like that,
walk
you mean?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I see what you're saying.
You close the ring when you hit the globally recommended 30 minutes of exercise per day.
It's one advantage a digital watch has over a real watch.
Everything we've seen suggests that it's just chewing through battery life.
Which helps you
I know. That's the real challenge here. And I think that's why it's so thick.
But sitting less can go
it's probably 2/3 battery.
Improving your health. A complete ring means that you've stood for at least 1 minute and 12 different hours during the day.
This is much more granular information than just how many steps you take.
There's also a dedicated workout app to provide more detailed measurement when you need it most.
And they're smart.
And they brought you brought him in and said, okay, what's the perfect what's the perfect thing to make this absolutely?
I mean, that's he is a fitness consultant.
And for people who are doing fitness, I mean, having this heads-up display is a big deal.
I agree. And apparently they like neon colored.
Because now your headphone, here's the other thing is now your control, you're sitting there with your watch, your iPhone can be in your pocket, your headphones are on, but your control's up here, so you're not constantly pulling your iPhone out to hit play and...
When you're done,
and as I've learned with the Android Wear watch, it's nice when you're driving to have stuff on your wrist.
Yeah,
because you can keep your hands on the wheels.
The app on the iPhone stores all your activity data.
And I still think there's going to be a revolution of how this gets connected to machinery that's in your gym. Paying attention to it because it could be, and it could, even with free weights, it could be, it could know how many reps you did.
That's the challenge. Most of these devices really only recognize walking and running. They don't recognize bicycling.
But what if they start? What if you start having either Bluetooth LE or NFC or whatever?
They need to.
By the
that's a big what if. I don't.
With Nautilus machines that
are personal,
it's all about the API and third-party development.
Important,
they do
achievable, which gives you a far better chance of succeeding.
And you could retrofit a lot of those.
Watch is going to greatly
for high-end ones like Club One or the one we have here
and change the way we look at fitness.
I don't remember his name anymore. It used to be Club One here in Petaluma.
We think it's going to help a lot of people live a better day and a healthier life.
You too can be 27 again and running in the sunset. You buy one of these.
We could not be more excited about bringing these health and fitness features to the Apple Watch. Apple Watch required some deep innovation. It's a precise timepiece with incredible ability to customize.
Something in the chat room talked about sweat-proof.
Innovative, intimate
the rumor was that it was going to be waterproof to 20 minutes.
They mentioned early on the waterproof sensors.
And it's a comprehensive health and fitness device. And it is so much more that we don't have time to cover this morning. I use mine to control my Apple TV. Another member of the team loves to use theirs as a viewfinder for their iPhone camera. Still another loves the walkie-talkie ability.
Apple TV's IR.
The list of features is a mile long.
No, you can do it with your iPhone. You don't need IR. You can do it through once it's connected to the Wi-Fi.
So you'd have to have an iPhone.
That list will get even longer.
So it's really controlling it through the iPhone.
Couldn't even imagine in it.
We're sorry about the continual loss of audio. That's an Apple problem.
I don't understand how.
I got rid of the Chinese.
Yeah, exactly.
Simultaneous interpretation. Just keep showing the screen because
you mentioned it
requires the iPhone because it's been designed to seamlessly work together.
Walkie-talkie.
Like with handoff, where you might read an email on your watch
This is part of
and then respond to it on the iPhone. The email appears right in the lock screen of your iPhone.
Wow.
It's really cool. Of course, Apple Watch works with iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, but we've also designed it so that it will work with iPhone 5, iPhone 5C, and iPhone 5S.
Which is probably about as far back as they started really designing the phones to be able to tie into it.
Well, anything with Bluetooth LE.
Over 200 million people already use Apple Watch. Now, we expect the usage of Apple Watch through the day to be incredible because there's so many different things you can do with it. And so we've designed it so that it's simple to charge at night. We're using inductive charging. It has a magnet and it aligns perfectly to the back of the watch.
I'm hearing it is
so simple and elegant.
Bottom price is $349.
It's something only Apple could do. Apple Watch starts at only $349.
And goes
wow,
up
it's practically free.
And it will be available early next year.
And early next year.
Worth the wait.
A lot of size there.
Man.
We think people are going to love to use Apple Watch.
I have to use this stupid Android Wear watch for another 3 months.
To wear it. It's something functional, yet incredibly beautiful. It empowers people and enriches their lives.
Remember, this is a first
Apple
generation.
Watch is the most
this is as thick as it's ever going to be, as clunky as it's ever going to be.
Created.
And it's still fairly impressive.
We are so excited about Apple Watch.
Yeah, when you think about like where we are now and where the original iPhone was, next couple of years will be fun.